This one is actually insane, you guys. I got to sit down with Matt the Immortal Brown. For anyone who doesn't know, Matt is an absolute legend in the world of UFC. Matt the Immortal Brown is a UFC welterweight fighter known for his aggressive fighting style and durability in the octagon. Earlier on in life, Matt struggled with substances and even at one point overdosed on. He was in and out of jail and trouble right and left, and one day he decided that he was going to step into the ring, and that was the day that his entire life changed. Matt started his MMA career in 2005 and joined the UFC in 2008. And despite facing setbacks like losses and injuries, Brown has always displayed resilience and determination, earning him the nickname The Immortal. And I want to give a huge shout out to my brother Mike G for making this happen for all of our YouTube community. You the best, dog. So with no further ado, let's go! All right, everybody, welcome. We are here today with the absolute legend, man. We got Matt the Immortal Brown in the house. Matt, thank you for spending some time with us, man.
No, thanks for having me, bro.
Can you just tell us, what happened to Turbulence when you were younger?
Yeah, man, I don't know. It wasn't. I think like a lot of people like kind of overplay it. Like I definitely was down a bad road and everything, and did some shit. And I mean, it got pretty bad, right? Like I overdosed on heroin. That was, I went to jail. I don't know how many times. A lot of things like that. But realistically, like the difference between me and probably someone like you is like I don't actually have a disease. Like when I wanted to quit, I just snapped my fingers and made the decision to quit. The harder part is like getting out of that lifestyle, and rebuilding a new life. That's the more difficult part for me. But when I see people like my friend Mark Coleman, I see some of my friends, that really have the disease. I mean, it gives me a lot of sympathy for them because I was doing it just as a, dipshit kid, whereas they are dealing with things that I can't even understand. But like I said, the more difficult part for me was getting to building a new lifestyle, creating a new identity for myself, accepting, what it was, not hating myself for what I did, forgiving myself, things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. What was your turning point? Was there like a definitive moment where you were like, you know what, I'm done with this shit. I want to do something else.
Yeah, there was actually first time I walked into a gym. So I'd already fought a few times before I went into a gym, but I kept winning, and then I got my ass kicked once pretty good, but, the dude was like way better than me, and, that kind of sucked, but it wasn't like that bad. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I had a chance the whole time. And then finally, when I went into a gym, a real martial arts gym with real pros, and that first day, I was just lucky that the spot that I went to had some really high level guys who probably would have got to the UFC had they stuck with it. They were fighting on shows with, some big names, some guys you'd recognize, so they were like right on the cusp. Today would be equal to like LFA or, UFC Fight Pass type shows. They were right there. But anyway, that first day I walked in there and I got my ass really kicked and they weren't even trying and they were handling me like a little child and just and I got another chance, right? You tap out and you come back again, or they beat you up on the feet and you come back again. That was my turning point because for one, it was a big slice of humble pie. And for two, it was, I fell in deep love with that shit. I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to beat these guys' asses and I'm going to do this shit or I'm going to die trying. It's going to be one or the other because I ain't going to die out there on the streets acting like a fucking idiot.
Yeah. I have always learned more from the fights that I lost than the fights that I won. There's just something so motivating and humbling about it. And I think humility can be a huge motivating factor. And it sounds like that came into play with you. So what made you decide that you wanted to go professional with it? Did you just want to be the best?
Yeah, like I said, it was literally that day. I said, I'm going to do this or I'm going to die trying. I didn't have anything else that really got my dick hard like that. You know what I mean? There wasn't nothing else that made me want to get up in the morning. I was a prodigal child. Like I was great in school until I stopped trying. Um, my dad owned a machine shop, and I was kind of like meant to take over that machine shop. I was doing shit like on mills and lathes and shit when I was like 10, 12 years old that, you know, when I went to school for it, I was teaching my teachers, you know, like, and that shit's not easy to do, you know, that's highly skilled work. Um, like I said, I was a prodigal child. Like I excelled in athletics. I just excelled in everything I did. It was all easy to me, which was kind of the downfall, I think, in my opinion, leading towards me getting into drugs and stuff because it was just boring to me. You know, it was easy. Like everything I did, it came very easy to me, and I just, you know, I felt like I was meant for more than what I was. The small little town that I was in, which I grew up in a town, a population of 200, right? Like I never seen a skyscraper till I was, you know, a full grown adult. I didn't know like there was a whole world out there of opportunity and potential. So come from this little town and kind of being a special kid, you know, I had a lot of talent. Being this special kid, I mean, I just knew that I was meant for something more, but I couldn't get out of there. I didn't know how to get out of there. So, and I wasn't interested in what was there, right? You know, being a machinist or being a welder or, you know, some shit like that, being a farmer. I was like, I want to be no fucking farmer, bro. Like, you know, I want to be one of the best in the world at something, right? Um, you know what I mean? So that's what I said. Like nothing really got me up, man. Like I didn't have no passion, no drive. So that leads to partying and, you know, because that was my passion and drive. That was what get me up in the morning. Like, dude, I'm gonna fucking out drink everybody today. You know what I mean? You know, you're gonna take one hit of that. I'm gonna take three, motherfucker. You know, and that competitiveness just went into the wrong avenues, the wrong direction. You know, um, so you know, went to the extreme, and then, like I said, I fought a few times. Um, and then when, like I said, when I got in that gym, bro, like I was like, dude, this is what I was built for. This is what I was born for. I left behind everything about my identity from previous that day. Like I dropped it all. I said, I'm a new person. And that was how I got away from it. You know, if that helps anybody. Um, Again, I didn't have the disease, which, you know, is different. I understand there's different issues that come with having that disease, right there, you know, in terms of, you know, the desire that you feel for it and everything. But for me, I just woke up every morning, as I was part of getting the Immortal tattoo, was I look at myself in the morning, I said, this is who I am. I'm a warrior, I'm a fighter. What's a fighter going to do today? A world champion fighter, what does he do today? He goes and runs, he goes and hits the bag, he goes and trains with others. um, he doesn't go drink, he doesn't go party, he doesn't go
Yeah.
chasing the pussy, and that's the hardest part.
Your mindset is fucking incredible. And I think that I don't think that people really understand how much your mindset is going to come into play in something like having a career as like one of the greatest fighters ever, bro. Like to have the career that you've had and the longevity that you've had in it, what is your mindset every day?
So I put one of the things that helped me was I put a mantra on the wall, reminding myself who I am, and having the Immortal tattoo, looking myself every day, saying, you know, that's who the fuck I am. You know, a very powerful book in my opinion that helped me a lot. It's called "As a Man Thinketh," right? As a man thinketh, so he is. Um, but the book is just "As a Man Thinketh," and that's what it talks about. You know, like you just keep telling yourself every day, you know, this is who I am. Then you become that. If you keep telling yourself every day, I'm an alcoholic. That's one of my issues with the. Again, I don't have the disease, but one of my issues with like Alcoholics Anonymous, like you get up in front of everyone and you say, I am Matt and I am an alcoholic. Like you just identified as that. And I'm like, dude, like go ahead and identify as something powerful, man. Go ahead and identify as the fucking man. And this has been a huge struggle with me coming from a small town. Um, you know, very, very humble beginnings, you know, no money in the household, you know, not, you know, I mean, like feeling like I was never going to be anything. So you have to identify as being something. I think John Jones did it probably better than anybody else, right? When before he was champion, he was signing autographs saying champion of the world. So in his mind, he's already champion. He's manifesting that shit, which, all that manifesting stuff, gets a little bit gay and stuff and a little bit weird, but it's like, but there's some truth to it too. I mean, you can't manifest $1 million, but you can manifest a man that can make $1 million.
Yeah, you can manifest yourself into putting in that fucking work.
Exactly.
And that's really what it is preparing your mind for the physical labor that you have to put in and the effort that you have to put in. And you've definitely accomplished that, man, in a major level. What would you say has been like a pinnacle, like peak moment for you as far as your career in the UFC?
I mean, I don't know. Probably like when I fought Robbie Lawler on Fox. It was one of the first Fox shows. It might have been the first one, actually. And I was fighting for a title contender. I felt like I won the fight. I think a lot of people felt like I won the fight, but they gave it to him. But, I mean, that was on paper, I mean, that was the peak. And that was one of my favorite fights, if not my favorite fight. And I got a lot of respect for Robbie, and he went on to be champion after that. So, it told me I was just, millimeters away, but, sometimes that's the way it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, bro, you can't be ashamed of the performance you put in on that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'd never say I'm ashamed of it. Things happen, but, if I had a more powerful mindset at the time, I think I probably would have pulled that out a little better too. A lot of these things I talk about are things that didn't come until too late, when my body's not at its peak anymore. The mind keeps getting bigger and better and stronger. Your body, though, that son of a bitch breaks down, bro.
I feel it every day, bro.
Yeah,
every day. So what are you doing these days?
I'm doing all kinds of stuff, man. Put a lot of something that I was just talking with some people earlier today about kind of my life right now for the last 20 plus years has been all about myself, building myself up to be the best fighter, the best martial artist that I can be. I probably peaked out what I can be as a martial artist. And that's not, at least competitively as a martial artist. I can still certainly be a better martial artist, but competitively, I probably peaked that out. So my goal for the rest of my life is to give back now, because I've been soaking in and taking in for the first, 43. So, that's usually about a half a person's life. So my first half was for me. My second half is for the universe.
That's awesome, man. I can relate to that on a heavy level. I definitely didn't achieve any of the things you achieved in the first half of my life, but the second half of my life is definitely about trying to influence people in a positive way and put them on a better path. Do you have any current projects that you're working on with that?
Building my gym has been a big project for giving back. That's been a huge thing, man. Watching these kids come in and change their lives, putting forks in their roads. That's been a huge project. Been doing a lot of real estate, which, there's that's sort of a money play, but at the same time, once I kind of started digging deep into it, it started giving opportunities for people. Construction is full of people with problems, but I can at least give them the opportunity. It creates a lot of problems because some of them aren't ready to get out of those situations that they're in, but it gives the opportunity to give people a lot of those things. Or for instance, like my Airbnbs, I own 2 of them. And like I gave my mom the opportunity to manage those. She's retired. She does, living on Social Security. So it gave her a purpose in life too, So even though it was originally like just a money play for me, because like, you make a big paycheck from the UFC or something, like you got to put that money somewhere, and, fuck the stock market and fuck banks. Right. So it's like, let's get it in real estate. And so originally it was a money play, but then I come to find, I could actually bring up a lot of people along this with me. So that's been pretty cool. Those are kind of the 2 main projects I've been focused on. And also, like, I got some fighters too that I help, and not a lot though. I don't help a lot of fighters. I don't have a ton of interest. Everybody thinks because I think I'm a very good coach, but I don't have a lot of interest in coaching fighters, man. I like helping martial artists, and I like helping people that are friends.
Yeah. Speaking of friends, man, I know that you're good friends with Coleman.
Yeah.
Um, I was talking to him for a little bit before this whole fire thing happened, man. How's he doing? Do you have an update on how he's doing right now?
He's fucking great, man. This guy, he was in the gym this morning hitting the bag and screaming at the camera and motivating people, man. Like, what an awesome human being, bro. Just a absolutely, I mean, you talk about a goddamn inspiration. I mean, dude, he's been through the fucking ringer, man, and just keeps going.
Yeah, bro. He's a whole unit, bro. Just all on his own, man. Fuck, man. That's incredible, bro. I really want to thank you for taking some time to talk to us today, man. I really appreciate it. I know that my community is really going to appreciate it. And if there's ever any way that I can get involved in any of the stuff you're doing to give back, please let me know, man. You got my number. I'm right here.
Nice. I appreciate it, brother.
All right, brother. Thank you for your time, Matt.
Anytime.